Hello, Rough Rider Ricky here. Just doing solo. Uh, no, the title is Interviews with Dick Gelotti, but here lately we have had a few people cancel on us. So we are just doing a Rough Rider Ricky solo show. It's going to be uploaded on YouTube, so we will have the video going. So people can now watch me while I do, and I keep looking up. I don't know what I'm looking up at. I guess I should be looking at the camera like that. I got another screen, so I'm looking at the other screen. So what you see on the camera is me looking at the big screen in front of me. I can't turn it. I got the computer and all that. So, excuse me. So, welcome to today's show. And what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about what's going on recently in Rough Rider Ricky's life. There you go. We're going to take a sip of water, clear the throat, and get started here. All right. So, over the past few podcasts, you probably have heard me talk about being on Twitter, talking about certain instances that keep happening on Twitter that happens to a lot of us. It's just not me. Mike Tyson had a quote. It's around there. Hope you've seen it. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. And it's everybody's getting really too comfortable insulting people without getting punched in the face. I don't know if that's the exact quote. I'm not pulling it up, but that's the gist of it. People are out there running their trap just because they can, because there's no consequences. I think I talked about it in one of my podcasts that in these days and times, everybody knows what's going on in the world. Everybody knows what's going on in the United States. Everybody knows what's happening. They do. They watch TV. They watch the news. You're going to cross the wrong person one time and something bad's going to happen. That's all I'm saying. I mean, it's out there. You see it every day. So I'm just telling you, maybe people need to be a little more respectful of other people. And if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Don't run your mouth. Are you immature? Whenever I disagree with somebody, I always try and find a way to give that person a positive feel about what I'm about to say. Perfect example is Colin Hurd cutting down Ohio State one time. But you know what? I'm trying to be a Colin Hurd. I got a podcast, I got a talk radio show, I do interviews, so I'm trying to be that guy. That guy, he's already the man. So I give him props for that. And then I go, man, I disagree with you say about Ohio State, man. And that's how you should do it. A group of SEC fans, man, I love messing with those people. They are so serious, man. They're so serious, and all they have to stand behind is Alabama. The rest of the Texas A&M. Come on, guys, number 6, lose to a non-ranked team. I'm just saying, App State's tough, man. They should have paid attention instead of looking past them and thinking, we got it, right? That's Jimbo Fisher because let me just say, he's not Nick Saban. All right, I'm just going to say it like that. See, instead of saying anything bad about the guy, you just say, man, he's not the caliber of coach Nick is. That's why Nick pulled out a game against a great team that had his number, but Nick was there. He coached. Man, he coaches those guys every day. He brings them to the game prepared and ready to play. That's the difference. That's what I'm going to say. But listen, if you're out there and you got to say something about somebody and you don't like it, just figure a way better to say it. I'm a non-educated kind of guy, and I can figure it out. There's a lot of people out there that are educated. They're wordsmiths. They can talk a lot better than I can, and they don't do it. So just be thoughtful of other people, right? Be respectful, and it goes a long way in today's time because it's with all the devices and everybody with their heads down, phones in their hand, iPads, Android, whatever, right? They, regular old communication, block parties, having fun with your neighbors and everything. Doesn't happen anymore. Doesn't happen anymore. And that's terrible. It's terrible. We need to get back to that. We need to try and find a way to get back to those times and enjoy life, because the way it's going now, it's terrible. It's terrible to even be a part of it. It's embarrassing. Okay. So, with the show, interviews by Dick Gelotti. Okay. He's a good radio personality. I really like him. And we're trying to line up some great people for him. We've reached out, I've said it before, to some retired Major League Baseball players that I know, some current people on the Seattle Seahawks roster. It's game time, so it's really going to be, the season. It's really going to be hard to try and talk to them. But they do interviews and stuff. Maybe I can get them. And now I've approached the WWE NXT, Ric Flair. To be honest with you, I on Twitter, I was going through suggestions on who they say you should follow based on your patterns on Twitter, and he came up, and we told the story. We told the story on air about that, not about him following me on Twitter, about a Ric Flair story, and it was really funny. But I reached out to him. He actually had his phone number on his Twitter page. It's really him. It's not a fraud. Everybody knows there's a lot of fraud out there on Twitter with the famous people and actors and actresses. This is can serve as a public service announcement. Please don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. Don't get fooled. Please do your homework. It's easy to do some fact checking, make some phone calls, and call the people out. Make them do things to prove who they are. Pretty soon they'll get frustrated and leave you alone because they're not going to get anything out of you. Just don't be swindled, people, by frauds out there. But like I said, I did some fact checking, and this really is Ric Flair. He did put his phone number on there for guest appearances and everything, and I called it and left a message. And keep your fingers crossed that he gives us a call back. And if you're out there, Ric Flair, it's for real. That message was for real. I am Rough Rider Ricky of the Rough Rider Talk Show, Talk Radio, and we are for real. We want you. We have deep respect for you as as an entertainer, as a wrestler, as a father, as a role model, as a husband, uh, and we want to share more of you with the people. And it's always funny because after some of your tweets, you want to do your patented woo. I'm sorry I don't do it justice, Nature Boy. But that was the story. We had a wrestler friend, Blue Collar Vinny, and myself that lived here in the Orlando area, and the fabulous Moolah had passed away. And me and my bros, we were camping, and we wanted to introduce my one brother to George. And so we gave him a call. And when I announced my name, service was terrible back then with the cell phones. It was, plus it was in the Ocala National Forest. So he kind of thought I was Ric Flair because I said Rick. And he thought I was coming in for Mueller's funeral services. And I'm sorry, I went along with it. I pretended to be you, Rick. It was fun for a minute. But he called me out a couple days later. He was looking. He was looking. He called one of my brothers. He had recorded the conversation. It was a great laugh, great story, and man, it was pretty fun being you for a couple minutes, having somebody think I was you. But that's that. But please come on the show. It's 15 minutes. It's remote from wherever you're at. We would love to have you. And congratulations on your daughter having a great career, following in her dad's footsteps, man. That's awesome. That's great. I love it. 13 times champion. She is. And, go for it. Keep working as long as your dad does, Charlotte, and you'll be great. Well, you already are great. Okay, so that's that with as far as guests coming on for Dick Gelotti and Blue Collar Vinny. I'm going to talk about him. We got to give a little disclaimer for BCB. We are an explicit show. He is on his own, and his own views are not expressed through our, the parent company, Rough Rider Talk Radio. But we do give him the freedom of speech to express what he wants to do. So please don't hold that against the Dick Gelotti show when you want to come on. And keeping it real with Ro, she just wants to be honest all the time. She wants to just bring the truth to people. And then she goes, it's up to you. So we're having a great time doing it, having a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. And just had a great meeting today as far as our construction company goes. And we're poised to have a fantastic last quarter of the year. Starting off with October. It's lining up to be fantastic. That meeting happened today. We're following it up with the in-house meeting tomorrow afternoon and moving on to inking the contracts within the next week or two. And as a matter of fact, it's really bothering me that if we get this going, and I might not be able to go on that fantastic road trip we're talking. Well, let me put it to you this way. We may have to postpone it, but not go when we are originally going to leave. With all these things happening for us right now, it's just, it's crunch time. There's a lot going on, and, business always comes first. Business always comes first. Everybody's got to remember that, especially you young people. Work ethic is not something that is readily seen in the marketplace any longer. There are some old school people that will work wire to wire, bell to bell, and put in 110% the whole time they're there. And those days are gone. You can't, gosh, any of the big box stores. We don't ever say names. We don't. I live in a glass house, okay, so I'm not gonna throw stones, but I will tell the truth, but I won't name names. So box stores, you go in, you're looking for something. Generally, they know for sure exactly where everything's at. Excuse me, and they're able to help you. But every once in a while, you get that one person, guy or girl, that cannot be bothered by it. And that just happened over the weekend. And it always sticks out when I have to talk on the show because that's, I'm driving down the road and I'm just thinking, like, how rude. And, how do they still have a job? Has anybody complained? Has anybody said anything? Am I the only one this happens to? And now it's time to do the show, and that's what's on my brain. And here's another example. They're always negative. There's never anything good. Just picked up a trailer, for the trip so I can haul my car behind the RV. And brand new trailer, brand new car hauler, dual purpose, going to be able to use it for my job. So I go to the supply house, go to pick up some material, and the guy just blatantly takes off the fender, with the forklift. Didn't even have it 5 hours. Didn't say he was sorry, nothing. Just went on to help the next person. Come on, really? Is that customers? And I spend a lot of money there every month with these guys. But hey, okay, so moving on. Positive. We don't ever want to be negative anymore. Oh my God, it's crazy. We're supposed to be positive and funny. So, okay. We're at a business meeting yesterday on Sunday. Absolutely. Everybody's busy during the week. We have to iron out things. So we go and break bread with our partners. And first time meeting my partner's wife and their two kids. And of course, we bring, I'm going to say his name. It's Eddie. He's my dog. Okay. I can say his name. He doesn't have a nickname. We bring Eddie. And we're so excited that we're at a place. Eddie's our service dog. So he can come in. He's well behaved and everything. But normally when we're there, he's always got to just sit down and relax and be a good boy. Well, with the kids around, it was great. And I'm just a big kid at heart myself. So, you know, took a little bit first time meeting them, to get to know them, try to talk to them. And their names are after actors and actresses. Their first names. That's who they're named after. And so I try and tell them a little bit about their namesakes, right? Who they're named after. But of course, they're younger kids. And Eddie keeps popping his head up, and he's so cute. I swear we always miss out from taking a video or a picture because it would be the money maker. But we always never have the camera ready because we're not one of those people that are on our phones 24/7. So the kids are starting to laugh and get a little more comfortable. We've been there for an hour or so. And we're gonna go, okay, let's move over to the booth and let's get Eddie up there in between the kids, let them be the bookends. And then he can kind of play with them and just instead of being in a stroller. And my boy loves to dig. He just, I wish, well, we do have video now, but I don't have any videos of him because whenever he's digging, he just gets in there and he starts digging. But he's just so intense in doing it. And the little boy just started cracking up, laughing really super hard. And then Eddie, after he does that, he gets really frisky and he starts running back and forth, really as fast as he can, trying to show off. And the little girl, my partner's daughter, there's about, because it was mid afternoon, so it was after lunch before dinner, and it was like a breakfast place. So we were like the only ones in there besides the employees, and so they took up like 20 feet of the bench along the wall, and Eddie's going back and forth. And Eddie's a little lover boy. Okay. So when he gets to the girl one time, she's just laughing and he jumps up on her and he starts kissing her. He always loves to give kisses. I think we spoiled him with that. So he just thinks everybody wants kisses. And she started laughing and everybody was cracking up that was watching it. And Mama spit out her drink all over me. I was sitting across from her. When she seen it and saw the kids laughing and what they were doing, she just couldn't hold it in. And Rough Rider Ricky got soaked. Lucky it was just water and spit. Okay, could have been worse. Could have been soda, and then I'd have been sticky all day. But yeah, that's. I thought it was. I can't laugh about it. And I'm the only one here, so there's nobody to laugh except the people on the air and people that are going to be watching me. But hey, you move on and you have fun. So, the bathroom was close by and it took me about 20 minutes, because I'm kind of a germaphobe. So, never expected that one at lunch yesterday. Never did I think I was going to, when I woke up having coffee, think about, whoa, taking a shower in the middle of a restaurant. All right. So, with this being said, hey, you guys got to follow me and subscribe for me, right? Because that'll help get us better and some better interviews and everything if we can show that people are listening to us. And plus, now with YouTube, I got to get better because every YouTube channel I watch, and like the crazy cabbie or whatever he is, he goes camping. He's a Midwesterner, goes solo camping out of his truck all the time. I'm sure he's probably pissed at me because I watch his videos almost nightly and I've yet to subscribe to him. And I'm one of his, followers, but I haven't subscribed. And then now here I am asking the same thing he does. Hey, hit the like button and the bell to subscribe so you get the latest. I understand it's to help them out, but if you like them, then it helps you get the latest content. So get out there, like us, like the show. I am having a banner made still because we are going tailgating and the show is ever evolving. Now we have a couple sound stations that we're bringing with us, and everybody that walks by, we're going to be feeding them sausage. Italians, man, come on. Growing up being Italian. Sausage and green peppers, we're going to cook fresh there. And Cookie's going to be making some meatballs and sauce, and we're going to be freezing that so that way it's good on the trip up. And then when we get up that morning, it's a 3:30 game, so we got all morning to serve some breakfast, which is going to be finger foods, small danishes, small muffins, stuff like that. We'll have a nice big coffee pot and coffee, and we're going to catch people coming, going, hanging out with us, watching the TV. We'll have the big screen out with the RV. We'll have a couple stations set up, and we'll get people doing some special shout outs and what they're thinking of the Buckeyes this year and the rest of the season, and all the haters and doubters. Again, it goes back to the beginning of the show. Ohio State has a great team this year. They have a lot of potential. Now, do they live up to that potential, play to that potential? They got a great chance at taking it all the way. They do. I'm not saying they're a dynasty. I'm not saying they're going to do that. But with the team they have this year and the coaches, they have that ability and the chance to do it. Will they do it? We're going to find out what everybody thinks. That's the question we're going to be asking. And I believe, let's count it. So they played Notre Dame 1, Arkansas State 2, Toledo is 3, Wisconsin's 4, Rutgers 5. So just before halfway through the season, we're going to see how they gelled, how they're going, and we're going to ask that question. We're going to ask them their name, where you're from, and that's the question. And we're going to get their response. We're going to record it. We're going to feed them. And then probably maybe the next couple days, edit it, get it all together and everything to get it uploaded. I would have to wait. I would hate to have to wait till I got back from the trip to do that. Hopefully I can do that right there and then and get it up. And I'm planning on seeing if, everybody that wants to do it would subscribe. So that way, when I do get it uploaded, they'll automatically be notified. What do you think about that? That should be a good way to get a lot of followers. I listen, I ain't trying to be rich doing this. That's not me. I don't know. I'm not into it that much. I just want to be able to talk to people, interview some great people, and say, look, man, look who I show, man. I had Ric Flair on my podcast. Come on. I'm doing it out of my guest room. You can see it, my guest room. That's my dad up there. That's something my dad made. Behind that is the Constitution of the United States of America. Behind the Ohio State flag is a picture of my grandfather retiring from the city of Willoughby. He was the water manager, and 30 years in, got his gold watch. I have it in a shadow box. I received it when he passed away. Yeah, it's all about family, right? So here I am in this little room in the back corner of my house doing a little podcast show, and I'm going to have Rick possibly could have Ric Flair on his show. Come on, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then from there, maybe I do get my buddy's son who plays with the Seattle Seahawks to come on. And, maybe that Major League Baseball pitcher who's retired that lives here in Florida that I have a great relationship, maybe he can see it to come on the show. Those things would be great. That's what I want to do. Just be like, hey man, did you hear that interview I did with so and so? Hey man, I interviewed. I'm saying Ric Flair because Ric Flair does do interviews, and I did solicit him to do an interview. We will make an offer to him if he asks for a donation to one of his favorite charities, or even if he takes the money himself, we will work a deal with that. So that's why I'm saying Ric Flair. All the other people are going to do it out of the kindness of the heart because we have a relationship and we're friends. So I don't want to say their names until they're coming on the show for 100%. That's why I do it that way, because I keep it real. I don't want people to think that I'm throwing names around and then never having a chance. So there's that. So I like it, and that's why I'm doing it. Hopefully, some people laugh. Well, we're doing good as far as comments and reviews. We're holding a steady 4.4. We're not a perfect 5 because, I'm sure because we're up and down. When I listen to them, I laugh and be like, ooh, I missed that. I should have caught that. But you know what? We're raw. We're just raw, rough around the edges. I'm a carpenter. I'm not a finished carpenter, right? Big difference. I got an eye for detail, but I'm not meticulous. So that's happening here with the podcast. We're raw. We don't have sponsors. We don't have money. We don't have great equipment. We don't have sound engineers. We're not in studios. We don't have producers and writers or anything like that. Just little old me. Hey guys. And I love doing it. I love talking. The wife says it all the time. Even at the meeting yesterday we had, I started it off and I said, hey, let me bring everybody up to speed. I'm sure everybody's hearing just one side of the, my meetings I'm having with our partner. So I start talking and then everybody's like, he just loves to hear himself talk. Yeah, I do. I crack myself up. I really do. Friday nights, like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm in here and I'm just messing around. I love listening to loud music. I love listening to the Foo Fighters. So, guys, sorry for your loss. The only reason I mention that now is because you're doing, and the tribute show to him has been, on the air and replaying and everything. And of course, his son playing the drums with you on My Hero is just getting a bazillion hits on MTV's channel. So that's amazing. So I love listening to them guys, man. I love them. And I sing. I have this microphone. You can see it, the headphones. And, I set the gain, I set the volume, and I get it going, and it's playing in my head so I can hear it. Then it's so loud, the microphone picks it up. So then I hear it through the microphone coming back to me. And then I'm singing, but I hear Dave Grohl sing, and I don't hear myself singing. So I'm like, hey, man, I sound just like Dave Grohl, which I don't. Okay, trust me. I don't. But so I got my eyes closed and I'm into it and I'm singing. And I think it was My Hero. All right. I just finished a previous set with Pretender and These Times or whatever. Yeah. And Everlong. So that was my first set. Then starting off my second set with My Hero, right? Listen to me. I'm a basket case, right? So I'm all into it, and kudos, My Hero, right? It's coming up, so he's belting it out. I'm belting it out. I got my eyes shut, and I'm just going, and I open my eyes and I look, and Cookie's at the door, and she's just shaking her head. So I pause the song, I take off the headphones, and I'm looking at her, and she just goes, you suck, right? I go, come on, man. I sound just like him in my head. She's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, no, come on. I go, I think I'm getting better. She goes, no, you suck. She's like, stop it and come to bed. So there you go. So Friday night, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm doing a private concert, doing a cover of the Foo Fighters. As my brother would call it, he would say the Pooh Fighters. And not because of the Foo Fighters. Don't get me wrong, guys. It's not because of you. It's because of me, because I suck singing you guys' music, trying to cover. So that's fun too. That's one of the things I love to do now is just sing. I never did want to sing before in my life, but now I do. And I wish I learned the drums because I watched a lot of that video of David Grohl doing Teen Spirit at the Ford with the drums. He jammed that one. Of course, I close my eyes and I do the air drums. I can't. Yeah, I'm not coordinated enough to even think about doing that. And then my shoulders probably halfway through would just fall. My arms would fall off my body. So yeah, all right. So that's me dreaming a few minutes watching YouTube and the Foo Fighters. I've been getting into the Stones lately, and I would love to have Mick Jagger and Lisa Fisher. Does that girl have a voice or what? Kudos to you. And I think Mick gave it to you too after that video that you guys shot. And that was an amazing video, amazing voice. Give me shelter, people. YouTube it. It's the official video. And of course, featuring Lisa Fisher and, the Stones. And it was done when Charlie Waters was still alive. He was on the drums, man. He was on the skins, kicking them. And it looked like everybody was having a good time on stage. So I hope they come back on a North American tour because I've missed them and I kick myself in the rear end for missing them. I really think that anybody that needs to go to a concert feels they need to go to a concert, go to the Stones. Seriously. I haven't been. I hear about it. I read about it. I watch it. And I try and talk to other people that have been to tell me what I've been missing. I'm a glutton for punishment like that. So hopefully they come around on a North American tour, and I'm going to go see them for sure. And one thing, the garage at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if I knew how to play an instrument, they have everything set up. And they let you sing. So you tell them what you want to sing, and they let you. I think that's the way it works. I've been trying to do some research on it because I do want to sing. Because I think they got sound engineers there, and they would actually make me sound good. I think they can. So I'm excited to see if that can actually happen, because that would be really cool if I can just do a track and then have it taped for me, and I can play it all the time. And people can go, "Hey, man, who's that?" And I can say, "Hey, that's me. Why don't you sing that song for us right now?" And I'd be like, "No, come on, do it, man. You sound great." No. I think that's what happens because I watched a longer video on YouTube about the Foo Fighters doing an album on tape at Dave Grohl's house. That's an awesome video. I'll have to go through my history and I'll put a link up to it. Obviously, now I can do that because I have a YouTube channel. It's a great video to watch. I mean, they got this famous producer there and he puts it all together, man. And he's doing on tape. They show you how they cut the tape with a razor blade and splice it together. Man, that's amazing kind of stuff, man. Old school kind of stuff. He opened up his house. His kids were there. It just, I mean, what a true family that was, and a great depiction of a super cool band gelling together and just having a great time, laying down the tracks and enjoying each other. Again, that's where we need to go to, people. The shit that's going on now, that's not the way it was. Even in the division of the 80s and the 90s and stuff, it was never this bad. Never. And as far back as I can remember, or family members talking about it, there was never any of this type of animosity between the parties, the government, the people. Nothing. I'm even up to 16, after Bush and the Obama. How did we act when Obama became president? Right? If people didn't like him and they had a bad opinion of him or whatever, he was our president, you stood behind him. That's the way Americans do. Whether it was Clinton, Reagan, Carter, any of them, the Bushes, Obama, Trump, any of them. Why is this president, this term, making it so hard for the American people to do that? That's just something to think about, right? It's very simple. It's a simple man's view, right? Maybe the intelligent people and all the smartigans that go to Harvard and everything and think they know it all and have statisticians working for them, running numbers, running this, running that, right? Maybe it's just as simple as some guy in his freaking bedroom in his house in Eustis, Florida going, Jesus, you're right. Everybody did stand behind the president no matter what they felt about him through the years. Even Trump, guys. I'm sorry. I've talked to family members who were Democrats and everything, and they didn't like him. They didn't have a good opinion of him, but he was president and they stood behind him because that was our leader, right? Just like Obama. I didn't like the guy. I didn't want him to be president. I didn't believe in his views, right? I didn't believe that he would take the country the way George Bush was running it and continue running it that way. That's why I didn't like him. But he was voted in and he was our guy. So we stand behind him. That's what we do. That's what I'm telling you. We did it all along. Why isn't it not happening now? I want somebody to let me know why that is not happening right now. It's simple. It's easy to answer. Because they're scared of what's going to happen next. That's the answer. The fear of the unknown. So, there you go, guys. Put together a great podcast tonight. Glad about the show. And remember, the best public service announcement out there. Don't get ripped off by other people that are being fraudulent to you. If it's too good to be true, then it's bullshit. And I am going through it right now. I'm not going to say any names, nothing. But if they listen to this whole podcast, she knows who she is. It's not very nice to fool Rough Rider Ricky. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night.